quick walk around video of the 68 Firebird. So the sun's kind of that lower fender extension was just painted just for color check, I guess. So metal work. I was working on gaffing the doors last time I had some time to work on it. Cutting the door skin to make the gap perfect, I guess, or trying to. Need to finish welding and finishing up the edge of the door. I cut through the skin. You know, the rockers, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but they're perfect. They've just been stripped. Original paint's been stripped. Haven't done anything else to the rockers yet. And you can see I've just got rubber line run from the rear to the front. I have new stainless tube to bend for fuel line from inline tube. Just got this door gutted right now, so this is not the factory door shell. I got this to replace the one that had been hit at some point in its life. This has been reskinned, and then I stripped the inside just to make sure everything was good. Had to do a little repair work around some bolt holes. I don't know if you can see that either, but then I did a little metal work in this corner. Hinge pins and rollers are new. They need painted, rusting from sitting. But yeah, I mean, it's super solid, you know, typical problem areas. And these cars, rockers here, this is just super solid. I'll go around the body and then I'll show you some more interior stuff. You know, and then another area here, I bought an aftermarket trunk lid for this because it had been patched here at some point in its life. I don't know why for sure because there's no real rust there, but the aftermarket one fit terrible, so I got rid of it and put this back on. This quarter's been replaced with a full quarter panel aftermarket, and they never fit good here, so I've been working on that as well. Had a big gap, so welding up this corner, and that's another thing that never got finished. Got a little hot right there. Do some work on that. Same back here. Nothing's been done to this except stripped with stripper probably 4 or 5 years ago. This side's all original steel except for the fender. when I had it at the shop to do the rust busting or the rust repair on the floor pans that we talked about. I think there were a couple pinholes right here that I had them fix as well. This was the spot where somebody had drilled holes and put Bondo in to fix a dent apparently, so I welded those shut and never got back to that. But again, rockers, excellent. I mean, this side hasn't even been stripped of the paint for some reason, but they're super solid. Original door skin, just like the trunk, has been patched in this corner for some reason or another. I don't know if it was rust or what, but the door fits so well I decided I was going to work with that. Same deal here. I think maybe this one might have got finished, but might need a little work on this gap. Yeah, doors are solid. This one had a small hole in the front that I had the rust buster guys fix as well, which is like a cold galvanizing process. They sandblast it and then spray weld metal on. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Somewhere in this corner, and it's typical. You get leaves and stuff in the door and rust. But it's original skin. Sorry, this is probably kind of shaky, but you know, this has just been stripped with a stripper, nothing else. So, floors, again, surface rust on the inside. The underside was perfect. Like I said, I base cleared it, but they sandblasted this, and there was a couple pinholes from the inside out. So they sandblasted it and spray welded it, and then I just put Pour 15 over everything inside on the floor after that was all done. And this is just some liquid sound deadener, the black and the blue stuff. You know, obviously painless harness. A lot of the wiring's done. Some of the heating and cooling stuff just hanging there. You know, there's some odds and ends stuff. You know, no gauges in it right now. New ignition switch, new headlight switch. That's just temporary fan override, so I can manually turn on the fan if needed. I did paint the dash while I had it apart with single stage, a black. You know, original roof skin. Scraped all the original undercoating or sound deadener off of that, and it's gonna do something different there, Dynamat or something. Have all the new interior headliner, sun visors, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. I don't know if you can see this. Try to slide the seat forward. So the car had weld-in subframe connectors. When I got it, they just beat the floor pans in instead of cutting them and welding like you're supposed to. So I reshaped the floor pans back here, and then welded tube inside the tube. Cut it where they had welded it to the subframe and made it removable. So if you want to pull the subframe out again, you don't have to cut anything. GTO seats, they're pretty much fit. There's some little finish things that need to be done to make them a little more solid, but they fit pretty well. It makes some filler panels to go on the sides. Same thing over here. Everything up to the Trunk dividers was painted with 415 or whatever. Front glass is new, back glass is original. Benagera unit with the bracket for the 67 to 69F bodies. There's where the bulkhead comes through. Remote mounted the wiper motor with a modern style wiper motor in here behind the glove box. Just need to finish wiring that. I've been working on that last few days actually. Everything underneath is painted. Needs a little paint work on the subframe connectors yet. Subframe powder coated. You know, and the Global S control arms and the hot shoe suspension. Had all this front stuff powder coated when I did the subframe. Filler panels and the nose. H4 headlights. There's relays behind the filler panel. There's a remote start solenoid behind the filler panel. There's the power junction. Power Master 1-wire 100 amp. And then this is where all the power distributes from and is fused there. And Mark 8 cooling fan. Hydro boost. And this is off of, I don't know, some newer model car. I thought it would work pretty well. It's an Astro van power steering pump. Wanted to remote mount the reservoir. Needs a bracket made for the ignition coil yet. It's just sitting back here. And then that bracket for the, I just threw something together to make something work. I was going to get one of those made. MSD's behind underneath the filler panel here. Just wanted to clean everything out of the way. All the wiring runs under the fender. There's the bulkhead. I was going to run all the cooling and heating lines up under the battery in between the fender and the inner fender. Got some 90s that connect to those. What else? Start it up. It's got a starter issue. The ring gear is out of round. I discovered in the last couple days. I've got a brand new one, so when the transmission goes in, it can be installed. Bought a new SFI, approved one from Summit.